Ever wonder how people wake up energized and ready to go while you're begging yourself not to hit the snooze button, dragging throughout the workday, or dreading your workout because you seem to not sleep well despite all that you do? In this video, I'm gonna break down the 4-step core sleep method that's gonna help you improve your sleep, and if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip that you can utilize even on days where you have a really hard workout or you have a very stressful day to get awesome sleep as well. Let's jump in. The first step isn't necessarily a single food, it's getting sufficient calories. This is for 2 major reasons. Number 1, our bodies still have some programming from when we were cavemen. If we were on the verge of starving and we were asleep, well, then we can't hunt to get food. Your body naturally wants to wake up so that you can hunt or gather to feed yourself appropriately. The second reason calorie intake is so important is for our recovery. Eating enough allows our body to have the necessary components and energy to be able to repair muscle and our nervous system after demanding exercise. Getting in enough protein, carbs, and total calories will allow our body to have the components to recover so that we can get into the proper stages of sleep despite putting a lot of stress on our nervous system. I'm already getting thirsty from all this talking, which brings us to number 2, optimizing our hydration. We know that water is important in everything in our body, and sleep isn't any different. Dehydration will make it harder to stay asleep throughout the night, but many people worry that drinking too much will contribute to having to wake up and pee. This is exactly why we need a strategy starting from first thing in the morning. Start hydrating early and often so you can give yourself about 1.5 to 2 hours before bed where all you're doing is sipping and not trying to catch up from the day. By the time your head hits that pillow at night, you're gonna be sleeping like a baby who's potty trained. Number 3, restore magnesium in your body. You all know that I prefer food first, but this is a supplement that I recommend to almost everyone that I work with. Magnesium is a mineral involved in over 300 enzymes in our body, involved in things like protein synthesis, muscle and nervous system function, and blood sugar and blood pressure control. Now, magnesium is the second most efficient micronutrient in the developed world. We get magnesium from foods like seeds and nuts and dark leafy greens. The problem is that it's really hard to get enough every single day. Men need 420 milligrams per day. You would need to eat 2.5 ounces of pumpkin seeds, 5.25 ounces of almonds, or 5.5 cups of boiled spinach every day. Now, that may happen on some days, but magnesium is a very cheap and effective supplement if taken in the correct form. I usually recommend magnesium glycinate from a third-party tested brand like Clean. This brings us to the last step in our core sleep method, evening food timing. I think most of us would agree that we want our digestive system to feel really good when our head hits the pillow to start the night. But sometimes we can feel good, but what's inside of our digestive system is actually contributing to worse sleep without us knowing it. Data supports that consuming high fat and or spicy foods soon before we go to bed actually inhibits our sleep even if our digestive system feels good. That being said, I am a big fan of eating about an hour before bed so that we can hit our total daily calories, our protein, and ward off some of that nighttime hunger. We just need to be calculated about what we choose. My go-to is a cup of low-fat Greek yogurt, usually one of those single serves with a good flavor, and a banana on the side. After that, I usually sleep way better and wake up feeling way more refreshed. Now that you've made it this far, let's talk about that bonus tip that's gonna help you get incredible sleep even on days where you do a really hard workout or have a particularly stressful day. It's the juice, and I'm not talking about steroids. Tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice has naturally occurring melatonin and a ton of antioxidants, which is actually one of the major reasons that I prefer it over just taking a melatonin supplement. The other is that when you're taking tart cherry juice, the natural cycle of melatonin release is preserved, so you won't run as much of a risk waking up the next day feeling groggy or tired. The recommended dosing is 8 ounces twice per day, with one of those coming about an hour before bed. I'd love to hear what you guys do to ensure that your sleep is at its peak every single night down in the comments below. And if you're wanting to deep dive more into optimizing your nutrition for performance, then check out this video that I made on how much protein you actually need to make gains. See you there.